Okay, here we go. Finally back with part two. Sitting here in my moo because baby, what is more comfortable than a moo when you in a crib chilling? Okay. Anyway, so finally back with part two. It's taking me a couple days, honestly, because I just ain't felt like recording this video, honestly. I probably picked the wrong month out of the year to do this. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And while it might sound like it's the perfect month to do it, I just got mixed feelings about Breast Cancer Awareness Month, honestly. And it ain't even because of the pink washing, but I don't know. It's just something about October. It's just like a daily reminder. Everybody's wearing pink. It's all about pink. It's it's crazy because the first year for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So again, I got diagnosed in June of 2020. So October of 2020. I'm sorry, I got diagnosed in January of 2020. Um, and so in October of 2020, I felt like excited about Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Like I had already done some of my treatment. I still wasn't done. I'll get into my treatment later, but I was like, "Ooh, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month." It kind of felt like this is my month. Like it means something different now. Yeah, it do mean something different. All right. But yeah, I felt excited for some reason the first year, and then 2021, I felt annoyed. 2022, I remember feeling. Honestly, I can't even remember year by year how I felt, but I can tell you that each year I felt something different, like annoyed, um, indifferent. One year I completely ignored the whole month, like August, September, November, December, because what? And this year I'm just like, how many days we got left, child? And that's not to say that I don't appreciate like when people acknowledge me during this month, because I do, people always say like Happy Breast Cancer Awareness Month or like, I'm so glad you're still here. And I love that. Like I like that people acknowledge it, and that they express their feelings about me and this journey. I don't feel any kind of way about that at all. Like I don't feel any kind of I guess you could say negative way about that. But just the month in itself and all the pink and yeah, no, I'm good on it. So I say that to say because it's October, it's like this is in my face every single day. And I'm like, ah. So every day that I have been like, okay, I'm gonna record the video today, I see something pink and I'm like, bruh, like, not today. Not today. But anyway, I always realize that this is bigger than me. And one person commented on my video. I don't think it was a bot. Um, so that just lets me know that somebody is watching, somebody is listening, and somebody wants to know more. So I'm like, girl, you gotta do it. It's bigger than you. Like, let's just get to it. All right. Part two. If you did not watch part one, you need to go and watch part one so you can find out how we get here, to where I'm about to explain. It's also important to watch part one because part one is kind of gives us information about how I even got to the point of, oh no, is this breast cancer? Because that's very important too, because what I was doing, I can tell you for sure that a lot of people don't do. They just don't. Anyway, all right. So part two of my breast cancer story. So I left off with talking about Miss Angela and how she's my shero and what she did for me. So over the next week, um, it was just basically me waiting to get my results. I called. They was like, "We ain't giving you the results over the phone. You still got to come in." I'm like, whatever. Miss Angela said to me, mind you, I had only known this lady at this point maybe 2 days, if that. Because during that week, I was in her office like a couple times. Just going to see her because I really immediately fell in love with her personality, and her, her spirit and stuff like that. So Miss Angela said to me one day, I'll go with you to get your results. And that was so special to me because this lady doesn't know me. Like, I get now looking back, like, yeah, she done been through it 3 times. She saw that another young woman who is potentially about to have to go through this. She knew that I hadn't told my family at the time. So I just felt like so special and honored that she would even extend that offer. But I declined. Actually, I don't think I declined. I think I was just like, I'll let you know. I know I didn't immediately say yes because I don't know why I didn't really want people with me. Like, I knew why I didn't tell my family at the time, but I had friends that I work with that could have came with me because, again, my results, everything that I was doing at the time was in the same place that I worked at, the same hospital. Um, but I for some reason I just didn't want anybody to be there. I wasn't afraid of them seeing my reaction because I really didn't know or think that I was going to have a reaction. Um, or like I didn't think I was going to be like crying or needing that kind of support or anything like that. One thing that I will say about me is while I am optimistic and super positive about stuff, I'm very realistic. So while everybody else, the few people that did know was like praying that, oh, I hope it's nothing, I hope it's nothing. My prayer was, um, give me the strength to handle whatever it is. Because the way I see it is this lump is there. If it's cancerous, it's cancerous. Praying that it's not cancerous is not going to change the outcome. Now, it could be not cancerous, but in my mind, it's not cancerous because I prayed for it to not be cancerous. It's not cancerous because that was already what the result was going to be. And, it just was what it was. So my prayer was just, God, allow me to be able to handle whatever it is. Allow me to be able, because again, like I said before in my first video, if it's not cancer, I still got to have surgery. God, allow me to be able to have the surgery that I got to have. Like, help me to, mentally prepare, help me to navigate as far as work and all of that kind of stuff. Or God, if it is cancerous, give me the strength to get through this thing. Because that's one thing we was always going to do was get through that thing. All right. So anywho, yeah, Miss Angela offered to go with me to get my results. I told her I will let her know. The day comes. January 13th, 2020. I go to work. And I honestly don't remember if like it was on my mind all day. Like, I went to work, did my, my job per usual. I knew I had an appointment at such and such time. When that time comes, I'll go. So the time comes, my partner at work, she was like, you're gonna be okay, yada yada yada. Like, I was cool. So I go to the office. I'm sitting in the waiting room, and the door opens, and I see, like, first of all, it was the radiologist, not the one who came in when after the ultrasound and said what I see is suspicious for breast cancer. It wasn't him. It was the one who actually did my biopsy. So he came out, and since when you go to the doctor and a doctor come to get you? Never. So when the doctor came out, I'm like, okay. And I kind of look past him, and it's like 2 or 3 people with him. I'm like, yeah, I kind of know what this is about to be. We walk down this long hall, and we go in this little room. And if anybody's familiar with like consultation rooms, or you in like a medical setting and you're about to get some not so good news, then you might know what kind of room that I'm talking about based on the description. So Go down this long hall, go in this room. It's maybe like 3 chairs. Um, there's a tiny desk in a corner with a computer, and there's a lamp on the table. The room is kind of dim, and there's a box of tissue on the table beside the lamp. Child, you ain't bringing me in this room to tell me great news. It was cancer free. We just got to schedule your surgery. You're not doing that. That would have been a phone call. I didn't worked in healthcare long enough to know that would have been a phone call. But anyway, um, so the doctor, he cut straight to it, which I appreciated. Oh, let me back up. Let me back up. That morning, again, I didn't think I was going to have a reaction if they told me that it was cancer. But that morning, I was like, I just want Miss Angela to go with me. And so I hit her up and I was like, hey, I remember saying I changed my mind. So maybe at some point during the week, I did tell her that I was going to be good. I don't know. But anyway, I was like, I changed my mind. My appointment's at such and such time. Can you come with me? And when I was walking to the office in the hospital where my appointment was going to be, she was walking up the hall. And she sat in the waiting room. And actually, no, I think she got there after me. Because as soon as she sat, I remember her coming in, and as soon as she sat down, that's when the doctor came out. So, yeah. So it's me, Miss Angela, it's the doctor, it's one of the nurse navigators, and it's the oncology social worker. And somebody else was in there. But yeah, the doctor cut straight to it. He said, it's never easy. It's never easy to have this conversation with someone, especially someone your age. But I'm afraid that this is cancer. And I just remember looking at him. I really don't know what he said after that. Like, I was listening, but I just really don't remember what he said. And I just wanted to know what stage. So he said everything else that he said or whatever. I remember I could feel Miss Angela like looking at me, looking at him, looking at me, looking at him. And I'm just thinking to myself, as I'm listening to him, I'm thinking to myself, like, for her, like, I'm okay. So he said, I wanted to know what stage. And so he pulled up the everything on his computer, did some calculations or whatever, and was like, he said, the breast surgeon is going to be the one to stage it. But I can tell you like the number that I get. But again, the breast surgeon is going to be the one to accurately stage it. So he said, I want to say he said stage 1. I think he said stage 1, or he might have said stage 0. I don't remember, but I believe he said stage 1. And then right after that, he went on to say, like, the great thing is, baby, that's all I need to hear was that word. The what? The great? Okay. Because that sounds good. I don't know what you're about to say next, but that sounds like something good gonna follow. He said the great thing is, it's pretty early. So this is not gonna take your life. You're not gonna die, but it is gonna be a journey that you're gonna have to go through. I also remember him saying that with it being so early, I likely would just do what is it? Radiation, surgery and radiation. And I was good. I was good. That's what I needed to hear. Because what you wasn't about to say I needed to do was the C word. Chemotherapy. You weren't about to tell me I had to do chemotherapy. So yeah, he said all I had to do was radiation and surgery. And that was gonna be it. So they asked if I had any questions. I don't remember if I had any questions at the time, other than the ones that I already asked about the the staging and stuff like that. Um, and then we left. Miss Angela walked me out. She was like, "You gonna be okay?" She gave me a hug, and I left work. I didn't go back to my floor. I just left work. And I got in my car and drove home. I remember that night I went out to get a margarita or two. Might have had three, I ain't gonna lie. But yeah. So that was how I found out that I had breast cancer. Now, I'm not going to necessarily make like a part three, but I am going to do a few more videos just about my journey in general. But what I will say is that the radiologist was incorrect, which is fine because that wasn't his part of the job or whatever. He did tell me up front, like, I'm gonna give you this information, but the breast surgeon is going to be the one to tell you yada yada yada, and the oncologist is going to be the one to tell you whatever whatever. Child, I think the next morning I got a call from my nurse navigator. This is my other Shiro, which I'll talk about her later. But she called me. She said my name wrong. First of all, I'm on the way to work, running late per usual. Just found out I had breast cancer yesterday. And you calling me early in the morning. You said my name wrong. I did correct her. But child, she said I was calling just to kind of talk to you. I know you got diagnosed yesterday, and I just wanted to kind of talk to you about treatment and things like that. I'm like, treatment? What treatment? Child, she said chemotherapy. What? Chemo who? Yeah, no, sis. Get off my line. I gotta go to work. Goodbye.